This is exactly right.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards, now streaming on Hulu.
Goodbye. Everyone loves the idea of spending an afternoon curled up with a good book.
Well, grow up, because it's almost impossible.
Luckily, you can take your next great story with you on Audible.
Audible has a massive selection of titles to choose from, including This American Life, new books by Michael Connelly, along with classics from Agatha Christie, and so much more.
Whether you want a mystery, a true crime story, or something completely different, there's always something new to listen to.
New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com/MFM.
Audible, stories that speak to you.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Hello. And welcome
to My Favorite Murder.
That's Georgia Hardstar.
And that's Karen Kilgariff.
And we're very giggly and excited today because we have a very special episode for you. We are so excited to be announcing that we have a very spooky new podcast that's joining the Exactly Right family. Vulture actually called it one of the best comedy podcasts of 2022.
That's right. We are talking to none other than the host of Ghosted by Roz Hernandez. Please welcome the one, the only, Roz Hernandez.
Oh my God. This is...
Hey, boo.
Hey, boo. This is insane. You guys, thank you so much for just so many things. I'm sure I'll say thank you as long as I know you. But this is, I can't believe I'm on My Favorite Murder right now. This is...
You're here.
Oh my God.
You're here.
Well, okay.
We're so happy.
I don't want to be that girl, but like... I was listening a long time ago. Like, Karen already knows I'm a Do You Need a Ride? I'm a die hard. And I have been for years. And then when I started hearing chirps about this murder podcast, I got right in there. And I have been Murderino for a very, very long time. And you guys are so inspiring to me. And I think the world of you both.
Right back at you.
Thanks, Roz.
Yeah, thanks, Roz.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
That was so much fun.
Nice to meet you.
So let's talk about ghosty stuff because that's like that's your wheelhouse. Like that's what you love.
That's what you're bringing.
Yeah.
You're bringing over to the network. What a great, sorry to use the phrase, filling a hole on the network. But this, this supernatural, parapsychological, what's the right term, area that we have yet to visit. And you have this great pre-existing podcast that now gets to be here with us. We're so excited.
Yeah. Well, and I've always felt like true crime and the paranormal, they're definitely like cousins, the two of them.
Totally.
Like they've
sure.
met a few times at the family, reunion. But there's definitely differences there. And I think the paranormal, there's a little bit more. And Georgia and I were just talking about this because she is the first guest on my new relaunch. And we were sort of talking about this, like, the paranormal, there's a little bit more freedom to explore because really all of it is unsolved at the end of the day. So there's kind of
Right.
that fun element of mystery to it. But you know, it can be morbid. It can be very scary in a way that is, you know, if you look at horror movies, most horror movies are either in one way or another like supernatural or a killer or something. So it's sort of the other end of it. But it can also lead us to conversations about spirituality, science, you know, so many different things that are all kind of encapsulated in the paranormal. And I just love it.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it.
Tell everyone how long you've been doing the podcast. How did you start it? And like, what was we just love talking about it so much. And everyone has a story.
Right. Well, it's funny because there are parallels between like me and you guys. And you guys are a huge inspiration to me. And like I remember hearing that you guys met or you were talking at a party about this kind of stuff. And that's sort of me too with ghosts. You know, to answer your question, I've been doing this podcast my whole life. It just wasn't recorded.
Right.
And I mean, I would just go up to people and grab them by the lapel and say, tell me a ghost story. So I it's my favorite thing to talk about. I find it endlessly interesting. I just have always been curious, particularly living here in Los Angeles. We all kind of know just the most kooky, interesting people. We know a lot of creatives. I hate to sound kind of cheesy, but
do it.
We are storytellers, you know.
We are.
And so some of the best stories you could hear are from creative people. And so I was constantly just asking people their ghost stories. And I grew up in a house that I believe was haunted by my grandmother.
Tell us everything.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, the house was built by my grandparents, and she sadly died while living in that house. And then we moved in. And I had a couple of moments that, like one in particular that always stands out was like this night I was laying in bed and I was really scared for some reason and I woke up and she was hovering. I mean, the category was ghost, and she was 10s across the board. She knew.
How old were you?
Every story I ever tell about childhood, I was 10. It's just in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I was probably like 10 or something. And she was like, fully knew the assignment. Like, good for her. She was like serving ghost, like floaty, see-through,
Whoa.
looked at me, gave me a look that was like, you're going to be okay. And just sort of like, just poof, goodbye.
Dissipated. Oh, my
Yes.
God. Did it scare you or did it feel like a good experience because it was like someone who loved you?
That's the thing. Whether you're living or dead, if you show up in my bedroom at night, I don't care if you're my grandma or not. If you show up all of a sudden and the door is shut and I don't know how you got in there and then you disappear, it's going to be scary to me. I'm sorry, Grandma. I love you so much. But it was scary to me. And so, of course, like naturally, I'm like just terrified at all times. Like, where is she going to pop up next? But I think it was a good, like growing up with that experience, I think it was a good starting point, especially when I hear people's stories that I'm like, okay, I got lucky with the ghost that I had because it was my loving grandma. I mean, she passed when I was 6. And so there was always kind of a theory that I formed in my head, like maybe she wanted more time with me because I have another cousin who's the same age as me. And years later, she had house sat for my parents. And she was like, remember how you used to say as a kid that grandma was around? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I heard her, like I literally heard her. She was like walking upstairs and she yelled my grandpa's name from the top of the stairs. So I'm like, maybe it has to do with the fact that we were both like the youngest or we were so young when she died. I don't know. My parents are like, we've never seen her.
But they always say, don't they, or have you heard this before, where it's like kids are more open-minded. Like kids are kind of open to stuff like that, or they're just more accepting, so they're able to see stuff that adults are tuned out.
Yeah. And I usually hear that with like toddlers and whatever. I mean, it could be. I'm also very skeptical of all of this stuff, to be honest, including my own experiences.
That's what I love about your podcast is it's like, it's not the definitive ghosts exist podcast. It's
Totally.
like, let's explore this idea because it doesn't make sense.
I like to joke that I'm constantly like, come on, how do you not believe this? Like, but I really, I just love it because we don't know the answers. That's the fun of it. So
Yes.
I don't like to listen to anyone that tells me like, that's a ghost and here's why that's a ghost and this is what happens when you die. Like, we don't know. Calm down. So yeah, when I look back at my own experiences, sometimes I'm like, well, I do have my whole life. I've kind of always enjoyed being the most interesting person in the room. Did I just make this up so I could have a good story? But who knows? Either way.
Anything's possible.
That's how I feel too. Yeah. When we talked and I told you my childhood ghost stories, I was the whole time being like, well, that little Georgia was like, had an active imagination.
Right.
Or maybe there was a gas leak in the house. So I don't fucking buy it at all. But it happened to me too.
But you know what's beautiful about this stuff is at the end of the day, who knows? Who knows? But we are coming together and talking about this stuff. And I think particularly having, public figures, having you guys on, having all kinds of people on that have fan bases or just that, I only have on people that I really love and enjoy. And a lot of times I don't know their thoughts on this stuff. And it's a cool way to connect with them and hear them share this stuff, which it leads to, broader conversations again about like their spirituality or their just their views on life. And sometimes they've never even pondered it. It's a lot of pondering. We like to just sort of, just explore our minds and think about it.
It's also interesting when people are like, that's absolutely not real. I think it's like those kinds of people that need to be black and white about it. And it's always like, wait, are you scared? Like, what is it about this topic that's making you need to be? It's the same people who are like, astrology's not real. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess it's only existed for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
That kind of thing where it's like, are you the kind of brain that needs that to not be real the way I am with aliens? Or are you open-minded person that's kind of like, anything is possible in this mysterious world we live in?
Right. But that's when you start getting into, a lot of what I do on the show is like looking at historical accounts and talking to even listeners and people from all over the world. And you hear like, okay, this stuff happens literally everywhere. As long as, people have been recording things, I don't know. There seems like there might be something to it, even if it's something in our minds. What is it? We don't know, but
yeah,
it sure is fun.
We get a lot of those people write in to the mini-sodes and like you mentioned before, when it's toddlers. So it's like toddlers pointing to a picture and being like, that's the lady from my room.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you can't, unless the person is straight up deciding to write an email with a full-on lie in it, they're telling you a thing that there's only one way that could be happening, right? Like that idea. And that's a uniform kind of story that goes around where it's like, my daughter was talking to herself in her crib and then pointed out my grandmother in a picture or whatever. I love those ones.
Right. Or like if you have someone that witnesses it with you, like anytime you get those little bits of validation, or sometimes I hear about these like haunted hotels, for example, or just like public places that people frequent, and they'll go to the front desk and they'll be like, oh my God, the craziest thing just happened. And they'll be like, the man with the pipe. And they're like, yeah, like, how'd you know? And it's like, people have been reporting him for years.
Oh my God, the man with the pipe. Whenever we go to these old theaters when we're on tour, and we're like immediately ask the security guards or whoever, like, this place is haunted, right? Because it's just this feeling of these old buildings. And you grew up in Michigan, right? So like you were around some older buildings. In LA, we don't really have those, but like you can feel the lives that have been lived there.
Oh, totally. And theaters are all haunted, always. And they're my favorite place in the world. I love theaters. And there's a lot of theories around why they're haunted. And that's the kind of thing I like, too, with my approaches. I like to entertain any possible theory that people have, but a lot of it has to do with energy of humans coming together, and that energy could fuel it and maybe keep it around. People that work in theaters are so connected to them. I mean, there's certain venues that I perform at that I'm like, I think this is where I would go when it's over. Like, I just love it here. This is like my second home. And you have your most exciting moments, your sad moments, your whatever, there's just such a strong connection that we have to these places. And also they're old and people die in them. So there's a lot of reasons why they could be haunted.
And then if you're there, if you've decided to spend eternity in a theater, at least you're seeing a new show every night, every couple of nights.
Yeah.
You get entertained.
Yeah, and you see these prices these days, this inflation. I tell you, these theater tickets.
You got to haunt it.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards, now streaming on Hulu.
Goodbye. In the summer, healthy habits are easy to keep until you leave the house.
You walk out the door, and the next thing you know, you're barefoot and feral in a gas station candy aisle.
That's why Kachava makes it easy to maintain your routines.
Kachava is an all-in-one nutrition shake, and now it comes in new travel packs.
Every packet gives you a simple shake with protein, fiber, vitamins and minerals, greens, probiotics, omegas, electrolytes, and more.
They're easy to toss into a bag, easy to take on the road, and a simple way to stick with your normal wellness habits, even when your schedule changes.
Man, that Kachava matcha in the individual packs is like my dream snack. It's exactly what I need and want in between the not great meals I'm eating for lunch and the snacks I would have had anyways that are terrible for me. Like, this is something I feel like I'm treating myself when I take.
You're treating yourself to vitamins, fiber, all these things that your body really wants and needs and kind of craves that it does seem like it takes a big effort to get. So now you're getting it all in one packet and in a little drink you like.
Take your daily ritual with you.
Go to Kachava.com and use code MFM for 15% off your first order.
That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code MFM.
Goodbye.
Where would you haunt? If you could pick a place to haunt, where would it be?
I think it would be a theater, probably.
Which one? Is there one that you love?
I always talk about my favorite place in Los Angeles. Listen, I don't get out much, but I've lived here since 2009, and I really do love it here in Los Angeles. And my favorite place in Los Angeles is Casita del Campo.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Mexican restaurant that's in Silver Lake, sort of
Yes.
east of Hollywood, and very queer-friendly, family-owned establishment that's been around since the 60s. And I just love it so much. And there was a theater in the basement that I did a ton of shows in, and the food is great. And I think I talked about it last time I was on Dinar with you. I love that place so much. And I think that's probably where I would go.
That's perfect. That place is ripe for haunting because it's got the Mexican restaurant, booth LA vibe that is just so special.
Yeah.
And they have great crab enchiladas. So you could just eat that if ghosts know how to
There's
eat.
just a good vibe there.
Yeah.
I really like it. And I mean, Mexican food, fun, campy drag shows.
Can't
Where
lose.
else would I want to haunt? Are you kidding me?
No.
Well, speaking of that, Roz, longtime listeners of Ghosted by Roz Hernandez know that the original title of the show was Ghosted by Roz Dresveles. Let's talk about the change.
Okay. So I was a full-time drag queen, 5 to 7 nights a week. Honey, I was out there. I was doing the gigs, honey.
Oh, wow. My feet hurt just hearing that. The shoes you must have had to wear.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, I was pretty lazy, but it started out, yes, it did start out with some uncomfortable shoes. But my drag name was Roz Hernandez.
One of the greats, I have to say, anyone I mention that drag name to is like, that's the best drag name.
Yeah, totally.
It's so funny.
I just love the name Roz. And, I'm trans, but, growing up, male, I assigned, I always just really looked up to like no nonsense kind of ladies. And I always thought of like a Roz, like that's just kind of that name is a Roz. And it's just like 3 letters with a Z at the end.
That's so true. She's the office manager who like takes no shit and like doesn't want to fucking hear it.
Or like a bartender lady that,
Yeah.
I just love that. And I feel like I identify with that. If that can be considered a gender, like that's what my gender really is like no nonsense bar lady. I actually, at Casita del Campo, the theater there, was backstage working with the family of wonderful performers that I work with down there. And a couple of years ago, I was really not quite transitioning yet. And I had recently gotten sober and I was just trying to figure out what to do with my life. And somebody had mentioned the name Roz back there. And I was like, yes, like that's me. And then I just blurted out Roz Hernandez. And that's sort of became my name. And I started doing drag. So anyway, the podcast started when I was basically, just living my life as a drag queen all the time. And so it did go by Roz Hernandez. And then like pandemic times, I was like, I don't know, like I love wearing, ladies' clothes, being seen with she, her pronouns. And I really came to terms with like, okay, I think I'm trans and maybe I should not have a comedy name anymore. So I just kept the Roz and used my real name, last name Hernandez. So that's basically it. And then I changed the name to Ghosted by Roz Hernandez. I mean, same person. I'm pretty much the exact same person as I was in drag.
You are, except, can I just say this? Because the first time I saw you after you transitioned, we were at the Lady to Lady party.
Oh, yeah?
You were standing with Sam Pancake. I walked in and of course, the entry of any party is like the most stressful where I'm literally like in a panic searching for a place to land.
Yeah.
And I've known Sam Pancake since I moved to LA 100 years ago. And so I saw him and just ran straight over to his side, didn't really even look around and started talking to him. And you were standing next to him. But I honestly assumed, I was like, that must be his agent or his PR lady. It was just this tall, gorgeous lady that was standing next to Sam. And I'm like, she must be in the industry or something. And then like Sam and I exchanged a couple things. And then I turned to you and I was like, hi. And you go, Karen, it's Roz. And I go, oh my God. And it was just like, it was really exciting because you were amazing and a gorgeous drag queen, but you're a gorgeous woman. I mean, you're just a gorgeous woman. It made me feel really excited for you,
Oh, thank you.
There as yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I loved wearing gigantic wigs. It was really, really fun.
Yeah.
I've since, given them away. I gave one to Bridger when I did his podcast as a gift.
Wow. That's a good gift.
My neck feels a lot better now. I don't have to carry those around. And it's crazy how people treat you like different in a good way. I mean, usually like I would walk into a room pretty much saying, everyone stare at me, look at me, my hair is gigantic and like I'm huge. And like now I get to sort of just like blend in a little bit more, which I like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. Everything's been really, really cool since then. And I think that like it's sort of where I'm at in life is just a lot more like getting real. And I think even when I started my podcast has been a journey for me as well, because I didn't know as much about the paranormal at the time. And I was more willing to believe anything that someone told me. And now I don't get me wrong, I don't doubt people because again, I don't know the actual answers. But I think I'm in a place in my life, and I think with my transition was a part of it, of just like, okay, let's really get down to like the truth, the facts. Give me the cold hard facts. I don't know what I'm saying here, but like
having a little skepticism going on.
Yeah, I just think my whole life has kind of transitioned in a way that is still really fun and having more fun with the reality of the circumstances that I'm in, as opposed to like in the past, I think I was more like, I need to make this whole world a fantasy. And now I'm just like, I don't know.
Now you're real, like Roz Hernandez. You're taking that Roz approach that you were talking about before.
The Roz. I'm Rozing everything.
You're Rozing it up.
Do you guys remember when Tommy Hilfiger's daughter had a reality show like in the early 2000s?
Oh, yeah.
She was crying on the phone to someone sick because she became an adult. And she goes, my childhood was just so whimsical. And now it's like reality. And I just remember being like, a whimsical childhood. Like, can you just...
Must have been nice.
Yeah. So like your whimsical side, or you want to make all of life whimsical in a fantasy, is like so much fun, but it's not, it's not sustainable probably for mental health.
Right. I think it was definitely good for me to live my life as a drag queen the way that I did. It was a good stepping stone. Like, I think I needed that rather than going from like 0 to 100. Like, it was a really fun way to have like an exploratory phase of my life for a number of years before getting to where I am now. Yeah, now we're here.
And you're such a hilarious comic and performer. So I do think that, in my opinion, drag it's my favorite. It's the funniest to me. It's the riskiest. It's really like a high wire act. And so when you're doing drag, or for what I've seen when people do drag, it's like you have to bring the goods. You're doing crowd work. Sometimes you're doing crowd work involuntarily. You have to have hard jokes. You have to have a great personality. Like, there's a lot going on. And I think what an amazing start where you kind of cut your teeth on like the highest level of that kind of comedy performing. And now you're just doing stand-up as yourself, and you just get to enjoy stand-up on like on a more authentic maybe level, but also just a little less, I don't know. I think you don't have to be as brave. You just kind of get to be yourself and a little more casual.
It definitely, I think, has given me tools in all forms of my life from being a drag queen. And like, also, I keep saying this, but like so much. I was a drag queen so much. Like, all the time, I was a damn drag queen. And, when I used to be in clubs, I've always been a talker. Can you surprise?
Join the club.
I've always liked to talk more than like lip sync or doing any of that stuff. And like, I would go to these clubs and get on the microphone, and it's like, there's the hottest guys you've ever seen that are making eyes at each other. People are friends that just got off work. They're all together. They're drinking. There's Britney Spears playing. Like, why would they pay attention to me? And so I think that's probably why I'm so loud and aggressive, because I had to learn to be like, here's why I matter.
That's right.
Surprise.
That's a good way to get trained.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your shirt? Because you have an amazing alien blacklight type t-shirt on right now that I'm obsessed with.
Oh my God, thank you.
How about aliens? Like, I know we talked about that on the podcast, and Karen hates it.
I do. Well, I don't hate you guys talking about it. I just hate the potential reality of it.
I'm very fascinated by it, but it gets tricky because it's a little bit conspiracy theory-y. And that can also, when we talk about murder and the paranormal being cousins, that's cute. But some of the cousins to conspiracy theories in this day and age, that's that family. Yeah. So
cut them off.
Yeah. So I like to touch on it because I do think it's a part of this conversation. Obviously, ghosts are my favorite, but there's, also cryptid creatures, for example, like Bigfoot and Loch Ness and that sort of thing, where I think it's all could be connected. Who knows? Like stuff that we can never seem to catch in a tangible way. Like maybe it's a ghost. Maybe it's a time travel thing. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm definitely fascinated by UFOs. I do think that they're real. I think that they come in peace, in my opinion. They're way smarter than us. They're above us. They could do whatever they wanted to us, and they don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people report communicating with them, and the stories seem to revolve around them being like, hey, get your shit together. We're up here looking at you guys, and like it is rough down there on Earth. Like you guys need to recycle. You need to like you got some Let's start with the recycling, and then we'll go from there. So I think that they come in peace. I don't know where they're from. Yeah. I don't know what's in the damn ocean. Like I don't know if that's where they're from. Like I don't know.
I love the idea that there's already, quote, an alien or someone has already time traveled and they're living among us.
Yeah.
I guess I think that Men in Black is a documentary, and I love the idea that that's how. And cats for sure are fucking aliens. I'm positive.
Oh, you start talking about octopuses, the octopi, whatever it is. They're that's something.
Yeah, they're smart, too smart.
But what about, I was just listening to a podcast and people wrote in their creepy stories, but somebody wrote in about working in the sewer and thinking that they saw an alien life form in the sewer. And then as he began to describe it, I grabbed the phone and just started skipping ahead. I was like, no. Like the idea that aliens are already here and kind of like sitting around us.
Yeah.
Oh, that I just can't. It really makes me... It feels like, well, that will then begin the end of the world, is what it feels like.
Well, I've done that to you guys before. Like, because to me, like ghosts and alien stuff, hearing about it definitely spooks me out sometimes. But it really does when I'm, anytime I've ever like stayed at a haunted place or like someone's house has a ghost, like no. But the murder stuff really scares me.
Yeah. Because it's real. It's very real.
Would you rather stay in like a known haunted house or like a known murder house?
Or like a place where there's a murder on the loose? That's the equivalent to me.
Really? I'm talking about like there has been a murder in this house.
But then wouldn't that be a haunted house possibly?
Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. Hand in hand and all that.
Yeah.
I guess the ghost. I don't sleep.
Me too, yeah.
There's been a few times where I've like gone ghost hunting with people where I'm like, okay, let's go to this haunted hotel. It's going to be so fun. And I think that the understanding is we're going to stay up all night. We're going to, set up some equipment or whatever. We're going to have a good time. We're going to listen to some music, whatever. No, I forget that people go to bed and they're not terrified. And then it always ends up with them sleeping and me just like shivering. Yeah.
Going, Grandma? Is that
you?
Grandma? I kind of want to stay at a haunted house just to like test myself. That seems like a feat. You know what I mean?
I absolutely think you should. Because I want any excuse to have you back on the podcast.
I want an experience, a real one as an adult. I say as my house is like, all right, bitch, this is happening.
Careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders. FX's The Shards, now streaming on Hulu.
Goodbye.
The future has an annoying habit of always showing up.
That's why now is a great time to start planning ahead.
Enter Acorns.
Acorns is a smart way to give your money a chance to grow. You can sign up in minutes and start automatically investing, even if it's your spare change.
The Acorns potential screen shows you the power of compounding and how your money could grow over time. You can quickly adjust how much you're investing every day, week, or month to make sure you're always building towards your goals.
Whether you're just starting out or thinking about settling down, Acorns supports your big and small goals across every stage of life. Sign up now and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment.
Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns.
Head to acorns.com/MFM or download the Acorns app to get started.
Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns.
Tier 2 compensation provided, potential subject to various factors such as customers' accounts, age, and investment settings.
Does not include Acorns fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorns portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involved. involves risk.
Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/MFM. Goodbye.
Buying clothes is easy. That's why everyone's always doing it.
But finding clothes you actually want to wear is the hard part.
Get all your favorite elevated essentials at Quince.
Quince specializes in effortless, high-quality essentials like ultra-soft organic cotton and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're beautifully tailored and built to last. And it's not just apparel. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel-quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples, essentials, and thoughtfully designed furniture.
They work directly with ethical factories, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup.
It's so true that they have wonderful items that aren't just clothes. I have like 3 of their 100% mulberry silk pillowcases. I've bought throws from there. I've bought bedding from there. And it is just as great quality as their clothes and super affordable.
Upgrade your everyday.
Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/MFM. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
Now available in Canada and the UK too.
QUINCE.com/MFM.
Goodbye. So, well, speaking of murder houses and things like that, do you have a hometown murder that you want to tell us about, since this is still my favorite murder?
I do.
Oh,
Now,
good.
it's not technically hometown. I mean, I've lived here since 2009. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, this is where I live and pretty much am from. It happened here, and it happened a number of years ago. Okay, here's the story. And I want to make it clear that this is just my little teeny involvement in this story. Of course, it was an actual tragedy happened. It's sort of that thing where, like, I don't know if there's like a water explosion in the street or something. Everyone has their side of the story, like they're about to write a book about it. And it's like,
Right.
I really was very minimally involved in this, but it did mess up me a little bit. Like, it definitely has stuck with me what happened, which, have I set it up enough? I was at the previously mentioned Sam Pancake. Sam Pancake, you're not familiar. He's my best friend in the whole wide world, and he's a brilliant comedic actor and truly the funniest person ever. And love him. And this was a number of years ago, maybe 6-7 years, something like that ago. I'm at his home, and I should probably set up the lay of the land here. So he lived in a guest house of television's Busy Phillips. And she lived in the main, house at the top of like a hill. And Sam was actually in the front. The guest house was in the front of the main house. And then there was a staircase that led past the front guest house up to the main house. And then there was a gate from the staircase to the street so that people, wouldn't just enter the property. It was summer night. We were watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah,
Sam and I, we were real invested at the time, and we're probably eating some popcorn, maybe drinking a LaCroix pamplemousse, and having a great time. Just nice, innocent time. And his window is open, the window to where the staircase leading up to the stairs, or leading up to the main house is. And I look out the window, and I see a young man staring into the window, and I make eye contact with him. And I took a beat, and I was staring at him like, because I was at this house every day. And it was just really out of the ordinary that there would be someone there. He just seemed lost, the way he was looking in. And I was freaked out, and I kind of froze. And I said to Sam, like, Sam, there's a guy, like, right there. Like, look out the window. So then Sam looks too, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? Or whatever. He was talking about, like, how he was lost or he needed a job or something. And I remember he had a pizza menu in his hand, and he had a bag with him. And we were kind of just like, sorry, like, we can't help you. It was really, I always want to help people, but it was kind of inappropriate or whatever. Like it was like
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of scary, to be honest. Like
Yeah. Yes.
Violating almost, like to come on and look in your home. Yeah.
To look
that's
in
not
a
okay.
window. No.
yeah, and not
No.
even just from the
Yeah.
street, like on
Yeah.
the property. So we were kind of just like, you gotta go, you gotta like, please, whatever. And he took his time and then left and made his way down the street. And we kind of peeked out and kept our eye on him. And that's pretty much my whole involvement of the story. But I've come back the next day. Again, I was at this house all the time. I come back the next day and Sam comes out and he goes, oh my God, one of the neighbors got murdered. And my first thought was, wait, do you think it was that guy? And then, message boards or like local neighborhood things started kind of saying like, we did see this guy and whatever. And somebody saw a guy of that exact same description leaving the scene of the house.
Oh.
It was really scary. But at this point, we didn't know. It was just weird. Like that was a weird thing that happened that night. And then we also know that somebody got murdered. And then Sam has a little bit more to the story. I think because he lived there, he had a little bit more involvement with the homicide detectives and talking to them. But weirdly, because again, I was at this house every day, they came over to talk to Sam when I was there and, told our side of the story. And I want to say that was maybe a couple days later or something. And then a year later, I was at the house again, and they came back again. They just knock on the door and came in, be like, we got more questions. And I happened to be there again. And I'll never forget, I asked the detective what, if they ever found out a motive. And he said, as far as we know, he's just looking to kill someone. That was sort of what he told me.
So it was definitely the guy that was creeping around?
Yeah, it was definitely him. And I guess the person that he murdered was just house sitting and was
God,
staying
that's
in the house,
horrifying.
and the guy had broken in. And
Oh no.
when I think he came, if I'm not mistaken, he broke into the house, and then the guy came home and he bludgeoned him. Yeah, so it was just really scary. And after that, not gonna lie, I did take a break from my favorite murder, just because
I would hope.
Yeah.
it kind of like made things a little personal for me. Like I noticed, like not that long after that, I got really weird around windows being open. And anytime windows are open, I get really uncomfortable. But I have like no tolerance for being in a place at nighttime when there's no curtains drawn and there's like people can see in. That scares me so much. And it's like something that has stayed with me. And I think that there's just something about staring at that guy right in the eyes a couple hours before that happened. And it's crossed my mind before, like, what if Sam was alone? Or,
Yes.
it just, I don't know. It really messed me up. But
It's a
again,
near
this story's
miss.
not about me, though. Like, I really want that to be clear. It's just something that I happen to be there for.
We want your, take on the whole thing. And I totally understand that would be so frightening.
Well, also it's your real experience.
Right.
So it's very considerate of you because you're like, this isn't about me. And this certainly wasn't the worst for you, but it still is bad for you because, it's like whatever Sam did to make that guy leave and not, it's just, that's almost like by chance that guy chose to do what Sam asked him to do. I mean, that's a very scary near miss. And it's also kind of that thing of like, this is living in the city. This is, this is kind of like what city living can sometimes bring, which is like gates don't keep people out. And there is just random murder that is inexplicable and for no reason and just horrifying. I mean, that's, so scary.
Yeah, and then I had to, and then I house sat for Busy that summer, and like she had cats, that I was taking care of, and every little click clack of the cats that I heard, I was grabbing kitchen knives. Like I was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm very scared of this kind of thing. I mean, I don't want to ever feel like you're never safe, but like
I get what you mean. When I walk by people's houses at night and they have their curtains open, I am like, what are you trying to accomplish right now? Like,
Yeah.
like privacy is like the least of your problems. I can see right into your house.
right. Also, you're
You
not
know?
that hot. Like, stop. Like, we don't need to see you right now eating your dinner.
Right. And you're kind of boring. You're watching Grey's Anatomy again. Like, we don't need to.
We don't care.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me. I am very much a closed window person too, which is so boring and I hate it. But yeah, you can't get past, like, you can't be into true crime and then also not kind of be paranoid a little bit.
Right. Or at least careful.
Careful. Yeah.
You know, it's be careful.
Right. And it's like, I think sometimes when you consume a lot of true crime, you do kind of learn what people are capable of. And, you know, it in some ways can prepare you, you know, I think.
Definitely. I think so. Yeah.
I think I am. I think I could classify myself as paranoid. It's definitely a fine line between like being careful and paranoid. Like I just try to. I wear rings all the time because I'm like, if someone tries it, I'm like, I'm gonna sock them.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks because, like you said, you're not wrong. These people, there are people that exist out there that could do these things. So are you paranoid or are you just overly aware of what actually happens in real life? You know?
You were forced to be aware because you had a very specific experience
Yeah.
that taught you to be aware. Like, it's not like you and Sam made that up or assumed or something. That was actually a thing that happened, and then it was confirmed that it was the same guy. That's so scary.
Yeah, and from what I heard, there was a lot of people in the neighborhood that had the same story, literally. Like,
Oh, wow.
he was on the
Wow.
property. We tell him to go away. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
But it happened that night. So it's just, so crazy. It was
Yeah.
very scary. And then like meeting the homicide detectives and stuff, that was its own experience of,
Yeah.
I grew up real into Columbo. And
Yes.
yeah. And so of course I'm like, I swear I was like, I'm already like thinking that I'm a suspect.
When I lived in Burbank, there was a shooting, and I had Burbank PD detectives come to my house. And the thing I always noticed where I'm like, oh, I thought this was just on TV. They wear really nice suits.
Do they?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
They're dressed to the nines, and they're there with their notebook. Like, we need to ask you a couple questions if you saw anything. And I totally did that thing where I saw nothing. I heard the noise. It was blocks away from my house, but I did go out in my backyard and just kind of look around. And so I just wanted to say something to them. So I
Right.
was like, I heard it and I looked, but there wasn't anything. And they're like, thanks. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, walk away. Where I'm like, I just want to, I don't know. I want to
Yeah.
help and be a part of it. But
Oh,
You're
I'm
in the
sure that's what
notes.
they deal with all day. And like these guys, they
Yes.
really like, I could just tell there was two of them, and I could tell that they were the kind of guys that were like, people make TV shows based on people like us. Like they were so
Yeah.
like they just, I don't know. I can't even
That's-
imagine the things that those guys see. And, ugh.
for real,
Dude, for sure.
horrifying.
Well, before we go, I think Karen, Roz, you and I talked about this, and I couldn't answer the question of does the Loch Ness monster exist, because I feel like if Karen found out I said no, there'd be a real problem.
You've already said no to my face. I know you don't think it exists.
I don't. But I think things exist in the water that we don't know about and don't make sense.
Just not my personal theory of that all the lakes are connected by underground tunnels. I got my hands on a book when I was like 17 that was like, I can't remember. It was, Mysterious California or something like that. And there was like all this stuff. I'm sure it was like one dude writing it up straight out of his own head. But there were all these kind of cryptid theories in that. So you mentioned the cryptids in your kind of list of the stuff that you talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Bigfoot is real?
I think anything is possible. I don't know. I always say my biggest, like, say I'm a superhero or a TV character, like my crutch or whatever is that I hate the outdoors. But if I didn't, I can find anyone. You kidding me? You give me a couple of context clues and a good Wi-Fi password, I will find everything.
I'm sorry, but we need to get you that TV show stat. You hating the wilderness, but going in to find Bigfoot.
And I've thought about how can we do this? Because I'm like, I don't like bugs. I'm afraid of snakes. Like, I don't know what I would have to be like piggyback ride on somebody with like a whole net around my body.
What if you're a drone operator?
Okay.
And you could do it from like a home base.
I like that idea.
Right?
But I think I would find Bigfoot. Bigfoot's a tough one.
Do you think that photo is real?
Like
No.
the famous video, the
Yeah,
Patterson
him walking,
Gimlin
right,
video?
the video. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that is like its own full story. There's so much to it, but I think it's definitely possible. The way that I rationalize the possibility, like for me, my leading theory is that it would have to be some kind of creature that is not like a bear or like a human. It would have to be a creature with some kind of magic powers that can make it disappear. And people have reported like seeing tracks that end, whoever it is, they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be talked about.
It'd probably be a lot more boring, like you're saying. It's like kind of like a bear that can walk like this. And it's like, oh, that's it? I think like the mystery around it and Loch Ness too is probably like way more interesting.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden, if we find out, then it's just a type of animal. Like, that's not fun. I like calling it Bigfoot. And like, it's this weird, mysterious thing. And particularly that original Bigfoot, it's theorized that it was a woman Bigfoot and she's curvy. Her hair is like actually really silky. If you like look at her, like she's sickening. I love her.
What? I didn't know that Bigfoot.
Honey, I love a lady with big feet. That is, I feel seen.
Representation matters.
It really does.
Roz, you're so delightful. It's very exciting that we get to have someone who is our friend and such a hilarious comic and talent come and do a podcast with our network. We're just so thrilled to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my God. It's just a dream. I've been my experience so far recording with this network that you guys have created, like you got the best people. Everybody is so cool. They know what they're doing. Like it's just been wonderful. They all make me feel like $1 million. They get it. Oh. They have put so much time into this. And this is something that my show, it's a silly little show, but I'm really passionate about it. I really love having these conversations with people. And I really do feel seen by you two and the network. And it feels really good. And I'm so excited for all the new people that are going to be listening to all these weird, silly conversations that I've been having for the past 4 years.
I love it.
Yay.
We're big fans and we're so glad you're here. I can't wait for the Christmas party this year because you're going to make it even more fun. It's
my
ridiculous.
God. I can't wait. But yeah, let me just give a little blurb to the people. Like, you tune in to the show, you're going to get famous people, funny people. You listening to this, you could come on. I just want to talk about ghosts, poltergeists, psychics, cryptids, UFOs, all that kind of mysterious stuff that we don't have the answers to. And we keep it fun. We keep it funny. For the most part, it stays pretty light. And I have just truly my favorite people on, and we laugh and we laugh. And Karen was on. Karen has the most epic ghost story of all time. Unfortunately, when I recorded with her, it was like the beginning of the pandemic, and but you'll get over the bad sound after a couple of minutes. But you have to hear if you've never heard Karen Kilgariff's ghost story, because it is truly what movies are made of.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and it really opened the door for me to entertain every other possibility in the world, which is like, well, if that happened, then really anything can happen, which is as scary as it is fun.
Yeah. And I think that hearing people's stories makes you also be like, wait, maybe this is real. Or like, I don't know, sometimes, especially when you hear from like public figures, it's like some of these people are kind of like reluctant to share this because they know that people will be like, you're lying, that you're crazy, you've lost your mind, whatever. And it is vulnerable to share your experiences like this with people. And I don't think that these people are lying.
Right.
So, if I ever sniff that out, it's not making it to the air. So whatever is posted, it's people that I at least, and I'm Roz. I'm a no-nonsense barkeeper. Or I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
Gatekeeper.
Yes.
You're gatekeeping true ghost stories.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, guys, new episodes of Ghosted by Roz Hernandez are out on Mondays here on the Exactly Right Network. And Georgia's the first guest, so give it a listen.
Karen's ghost story is from an episode in 2020, so check that out on Roz's back catalog. And while you're there, check out all the amazing episodes she's already done. And please remember to like, review, and subscribe, which is like your payment for a free podcast is to like, review, and subscribe. Okay.
And Roz, thank you so much for being here with us today, and welcome to the Exactly Right family. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
This has been an Exactly Right production.
Our producer is Alejandra Keck.
Our senior producer is Hannah Kyle Creighton.
This episode was engineered by Stephen Ray Morris and mixed by John Bradley.
Our researcher is Maren McClashen.
Email your hometowns and fucking hoorays to myfavoritemurder@gmail.com.
Follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at My Favorite Murder and Twitter at My Fave Murder. Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Vacation planning should feel like a breeze, not a deep dive into countless travel sites searching for the best deal.
With Cheap Caribbean's Budget Beach Finder, you can search every destination and every date all in one search.
You'll save time and money with the Budget Beach Finder.
Say goodbye to endless scrolling and tab hopping and hello to budget beach bliss at your fingertips.
Go to cheapcaribbean.com to try out the Budget Beach Finder and see just how stress-free vacation planning should be.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.